Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I'm checking out a K-beauty brand called Parnell. This is, what is the name of this one? The CICAMANU Serum Cushion Foundation. The retail price is set to $30, but between Amazon and YesStyle, it's $19 to $23 every time I've ever looked at it. I paid $23 for it, so I don't think it's ever really at that $30 retail price. That is for a half ounce or 15 grams of product. Let's take a look at what they claim. It's getting 4.5 out of 5 stars on YesStyle's website, with 495 reviews right now. Comes in 41 different shades, from very, very, very fair to very deep. So one of the very few K-beauty foundations that has a complete shade range. They say this serum-infused cushion foundation is packed with hydrating and soothing ingredients like Parnell's signature CICAMANU biome ingredient, Centella asiatica tiger grass. Rawr. You know that's my favorite. Ceramides and, ooh, I'm going to butcher the name of this one because I don't even know what this is. Phytosphingazine. I think I said it right. Close at least, but I don't know what it is. It offers buildable coverage to conceal redness and other skin imperfections for a smooth, non-cakey finish, free of parabens, alcohol, and PEG. The formula is suitable for sensitive and irritated skin. Looks like your typical dimethicone, silicone-based foundation, and yeah, 4.4 total out of 5 stars on YesStyle. It was around 4 stars on Amazon, so fairly well rated. I really like the packaging. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell with the glare, but you see how it's got this raised sort of design, and then the name Parnell is embossed into there, and it's your usual cushion setup. I didn't take the little cover off the mirror yet, but there is a mirror up here. It comes with a little foam pad and the clickable, I've already pulled off the inner seal, but the clickable lid to keep the cushion moist underneath there. So let's take a look. I got this in shade 21 Cool. Let's take a look at this shade swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Parnell, the CICAMANU Serum Cushion Foundation in shade 21C. A little bit lighter than other shade 21s in K-beauty brands. Second, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last, I've got from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 50-year-old face. Oh, I didn't prime. Let's prime. It's my Geek Out of Water Blue Tansy Primer. My favorite primer ever, really. And yes, I made it myself. So I only use a little bit. Let me show you how much I usually scoop out here. Bryn is the one who told me to use guitar picks for my scooping stuff years and years and years and years and years ago. OG. So when you purchase one of these for me, you also get a little guitar pick in your lid. But thank you, Bryn. I wrote your name down so I will never again forget who you were. I always know your name when you show up in the comments. I'm like, oh, that's what it is, and then I forget. But I wrote it down this time. So I'm only using a little bit. I don't use a ton. You don't need a lot of this. It's pretty thick. You can use it as a moisturizer as well. Whoa, almost dropped my guitar pick. And that's why I need a whole jar of them, because I lose them all the time. But you only need a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. It can be used as moisturizer too if you so desire. But that little bit will do your whole face. And I take it up under my eyes too, because I'm dry everywhere. It's smoothing, it's anti-aging, it's hydrating, it locks in your skincare. And it helps just prevent things from settling into your lines. It helps keep everything looking smooth. And then, since I have like moisture on my fingers from whatever product, I always take that and train my eyebrows up. I take whatever's left on my hands and push my eyebrows up. Just random tidbits. All right, I will go in on one side of my face with a damp sponge. The other side I will use my BK Beauty 101. No, I don't even need my damp sponge, do I? Because I've got the little foamy thing. Well, should I use my damp sponge and keep my foam? I'm going to keep my sponge wants to fall off the desk. It's one of those days. I'm going to keep my foamy thing clean so that if I travel with this, because I do have a trip coming up, and who knows, if I like this, I might bring this with, because I like the non-liquidy, less chance of spilling in your suitcase, you know. I'm going to keep this clean. I'm going to use my sponge instead. So we'll go on one side of the face with the sponge, other side with the brush. Let me show you how I do this when I'm using a sponge. I just bonk, bonk, bonk. I got to press a little harder because sideways I wasn't pressing so well. Now, most of the K-Beauty foundations I am shade 21 in. I can usually get away in the winter with a little bit lighter. This one seems a little lighter than a typical 21. But that is some coverage right off the bat. This has a little bit of a menthol scent to it. Not very strong. It's kind of, I'm going to do my neck a little bit too. It kind of reminds me of like a spa scent. You know how when you go to a spa, there's usually like a signature scent. I don't know why I'm using the fat side of this around my nose. I really should switch to the other side, but I'm not. So yeah, that's happening right now. That's where we're at in life. Because I'm doing it that way, I'm missing half my nose. So I'm going to take the skinny side and get the other side of my nose. Okay, here we go. This is laying down quite nicely. It's not super high coverage for the sponge, but sponges do tend to soak some product up. I can see some coverage. Like if you look, you know, redness on my chin versus the foundation side, I can still see sunspots poking through just a little bit over here. Let's use a brush. And same situation, I just kind of bounce it in there. And then I can use it as a brush. Yeah, it's not a strong scent, but it's got just a little hint of a mintiness. There were a couple natural extracts in there. I'm guessing that's what I'm smelling. Now I am going to wear concealer today because I'm also going to film. Finally, in the Prime Day sale, I was able to get the Tier concealer that has been all the rage from all the big influencers that got it in PR. Not me, I'm a little influencer, so I did not get it in PR, but I was finally able to get it in stock in my shade, so I'm going to film that today too. So yeah. Alright, let's see, where are we at? Oh, I missed a whole spot on my forehead. Good job, Shelly, good job. This actually does go on easier with a sponge because I feel like the brush doesn't pick up as much product. It's kind of the opposite of the typical experience with a liquid foundation, because you actually need it to pick product up out of here. All right, there's one pass. I'd call it light to light medium coverage in one pass. I am going to go back in with my sponge and just try to build up just a little bit and see where we end up. This feels nice. It almost feels cooling. I almost want to look and see if there's anything menthol in this, because it has a sort of a cooling feel to it, which is quite nice. It's refreshing. It's a little lighter, I think, in shade than other brands' number 21s. I just feel like it's pretty light on me right now. I did get a little bit of sun. I spent 2 days outside at the Dave Matthews Band concerts in Richmond. They were amazing. I was wearing sunscreen, but admittedly, I did not bring it with me to the concert venue because they get all up in arms about you have to have a clear bag, and then they send you through different lines if you have too much stuff in your bag, and I just didn't want to deal with all that. So I wore sunscreen, but I did not reapply throughout the afternoon. We were only out there from like maybe 4 p.m. until sundown, but I do think I probably got a little bit of sun because I had my watch off earlier and I could see a watch band. So I got some sun. This is probably as tan as I ever get in real life, which is to say, not tan at all. All right, let's see where we're at here. Put my little foamy thing back in here. Make sure you press to, like this one does have a pretty distinct click to it. Make sure you do that so that this doesn't dry out on you, because that would be sad. I like this packaging. It's like a soft matte finish. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let me zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm seeing as I'm seeing it. So it's clinging a little bit to the pores on my nose, but in general, it's not, I can just see my pores. It's not really sinking into them, but I can see them. It doesn't look very good on my nose. Let's just leave it at that. Kind of same on my chin. It looked really nice as it applied, but as it's drying down, I feel like it's kind of just catching on areas that I have texture, areas that I have pores, which we all have pores everywhere. So, oh, it's not so great on my forehead. It's kind of settling into my forehead lines already. It's odd because I feel like the appearance is almost as if it's got a powder finish, and the powder is what's setting into my lines and clinging to different spots. I'm tapping it out with the sponge again just to see if we're dealing with like an excess product situation, but I don't think that would be the case because I did not put a lot of product on. That did seem to help my forehead. I don't see it settling into my forehead lines anymore. Like it was settling a little, or like clinging a little in between my eyebrows. Tapping it out is helping that, but I don't know if that's because I'm removing too much product. We'll see. We'll see. My nose still does not look great. It's kind of just clinging oddly. Upper lip does not look great either. Let's see if it settles down. I'm not gonna pounce anymore. I don't want to remove any more product. I can tell I've still got product on because my face is now lighter than my neck a little bit. But, okay. Questionable start, questionable. We'll see how this goes. I'll give it a minute to set down, put the rest of my face on. 2:04, so it's around 2 p.m. Let's put the rest of the face on. I will be right back. Back with the Parnell CICAMANU Cushion Foundation. I think it must transfer a little bit because I keep noticing missing product on the end of my nose, and it just must, you know, I do end up touching my nose a lot throughout the day because I have to blow my nose or my nose itches. Like, my nose is just the bane of my existence. I mean, I'm glad it's there. I like smelling things. But as far as makeup goes, my nose is not my favorite part of my body. And I keep finding that I'm missing product at the end of my nose. So I think I'm just unconsciously touching my nose. Otherwise, it settled a little bit into my chin lines. And it did settle a little bit more into my forehead line, not my forehead lines, not too much, nothing wild. It just doesn't look super great on my nose. It's just not the most blurring, smoothing type of a thing, you know? It's given nice coverage, but you can kind of see it. It clings a little bit to some texture. It clings a little bit to, you know, I don't know, the texture, I guess. This side is, I have little texture more issues over here. But I didn't have any trouble blending anything. The blush stain that I wore, which is the Revolution Beauty Super Dewy. I'll put the shade of this down below because they don't have it on the packaging, so I don't know what color it is. That is my blush. My bronzer is the Polite Society, their Cabana line, Cabana Club French Riviera is the shade of this one. My eyes are just my good old Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I use the shade Stone. I did do this whole look. If you missed that video, go back and catch it. I did change my shirt, so I'm in a different shirt in that video. I'm in a teal shirt. So if you're looking at my thumbnails, you can see how I got this face by going back there. The Elf Incredicurl is my mascara. What else am I wearing? The Wayne Goss eye pencil is my tight line. It transfers a little bit, but I kind of like how it looks when it transfers down since I don't put pencil in my lower waterline. That's a very personal preference though. Probably most people don't go for that. But I like it. Refi, Brow Gel, Polite Pout from Polite Society, the lip balm. This is the flavor shade Jelly Bean. The most delicious lip products of all time. Is that everything on my face? I think it is. I'm going to go about my day. Probably going to sweat later on, so this one's going to get a little bit of a workout because I'm probably going to take the cats on a walk, or at least one cat. I got a cat stroller. Yes, I am now that cat lady. So I'm going to take the cats out, and of course it's hot outside. It's probably the last day that we're going to have a little bit less humidity for a while. We had 2 whole days of not crazy humidity. It's been a swamp before. This is the most humid July on record for this area since they've consistently kept humidity records, and that was the 1940s. So it's been humid as heck. Today's not too bad. It's like 57% humidity today. So I'm going to take the cats for a walk. I'll get you guys a daylight check-in. I will probably sweat, and then I will come back tonight, and we'll see how this one fared. All right, here's the hot mess. I just got back from a walk with the cat. Took Daffy out in the stroller, walked to the mail house to get the mail. Came home, blotted the sweat, let myself stop sweating, and here's where we're at. It's like a 20-minute walk, like less than a mile, but that's what the redness on my face is. It's a little too light for me, but in the dead of winter, I could probably make it work. I'm gonna try to get some sunlight. There you go. Well, there you have it. I haven't gotten a good close look to see how it's holding up. I feel like there's almost not a whole lot left. Nothing really came off on the paper towel when I was just blotting the sweat off my face. I am still sweaty, but we will see. Gonna refill the bird baths, and then I'll go back into the air conditioning. I'll catch you tonight. 9:29 p.m. That puts us just past the 7-ish hour mark. Let's take a look at how the Parnell Cicamanu, was that the name? Held up. Foundation. Cica, it doesn't say on the back. Not in English anyway. It's pretty much gone. Off my face. I can still see my blush stain a little bit. So that held up. So I had gone for the walk. And I was sweating, dripping sweat, like literal drips coming off of me. So I did put it through a workout. But I did not wipe my face. I took a paper towel and pressed it against my face for, 5 minutes until I was done sweating. And really didn't notice foundation on the paper towel. So I'm surprised that the foundation doesn't seem to be here anymore, unless it dripped off while I was sweating. I don't know. It's pretty broken apart on my chin. Let's zoom in so you can see this. It's pretty broken apart on my chin. It's broken apart and missing off of my nose. My nose didn't look great to begin with. Along the sides of my cheeks, like below where the blush is, it's just a little bit sort of cakey. I can see it on top of the skin. The only foundation I can see on my forehead now is what is settled into my deepest chin line. It's pretty much missing every place else. My bronzer seems to be kind of missing as well on my forehead. So there's not really much left there going on. It just kind of disappeared. And it didn't look incredibly great to begin with. So, yeah, Ziva stayed this time. So here you go. She's purring. She's purring like crazy. Right, Ziva? So, yeah. It got really good reviews, and you know I love my tiger grass, but if I had to give a grade to the Parnell CICAMANU Serum Cushion Foundation, it's like a between a D and a D minus. It's not like a disaster. I was okay wearing it out into public, so I don't feel like it's a complete failure, but it's not something I plan to wear more than a couple more times. Whenever I have a foundation that does not perform well, I will do 1 or 2 more wears of it with different primer or different skincare underneath, different SPF underneath. I was wearing the Beauty of Joseon, I'm probably saying that wrong, under this, just to make sure that nothing changes. And I can tell you, I've done 413 foundation reviews on this channel, and of those 413 reviews, 2 times a foundation performed better when I retested it. And one of those was the Merit Foundation Stick, that I do believe the reason it didn't perform well actually the first time was that the shade was too light for me. So it was just accentuating things that wouldn't have been accentuated if I picked the right shade. So really, one time it was products underneath. That was a long time ago. It was a Physicians Formula foundation that straight up turned orange on me, but it was reacting poorly with a sunscreen that I was using. Yeah, so it's not common that things perform better when I try them again. But I will, just to make sure that there's not something else I could do differently to make it work better. I'm going to go D minus. It settles into lines. And I do feel kind of dry on top of it on a very, very, very humid day. I could be slightly dehydrated because I did sweat a lot, but there's just, doesn't look great. Clingy in different areas, not exceptionally hydrating for dry skin, doesn't really do any nice smoothing, nice blurring of lines or texture, and it broke down pretty easily in a very short time. This one's not working for me. We're gonna go D minus. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments. What would you like to see next? I keep a running list. I buy them all the time. I make little tick marks when I get multiple requests for the same thing. So things that get requested more are the most likely for me to buy them in the nearest of futures. Also, I didn't go to Aldi. Ugh, those floor mats better be there tomorrow. I didn't make it out. After my catwalk, I was just exhausted. There's too many hills around here. My calves are killing me. But sorry, Parnell, this one did not do it for me. Like the packaging, that's probably the best part of it. There you have it. Let me know what you would like to see down in the comments down below. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.